So far in our space adventure project, we have declared some constants, printed out some information, uh, gotten some input for the user, but we haven't really done much with the space adventure concept so far. So let's start to implement that functionality. So in order to model something like a space adventure, we're actually going to use another class. And in Swift and other object-oriented programming languages, classes are used to model the data for your program. So let's go ahead and create a new Swift class. I'm going to hit Command N to create a new file, and I'm going to choose Swift file. And hit Next. I'm going to call my file SpaceAdventure. And notice that this time it is capitalized. We want our class file to have a capital letter. I'm going to make sure it's in the Space Adventure group in my Space Adventure folder. And I'm going to go ahead and hit Create. And notice that over here in the Project Navigator, the Space Adventure Swift.swift file is open and it is blank. So if you think about it, I'm going to hit Command 1 to go to our File Navigator and go to the main Swift file. Our main Swift file should really only have two jobs, and one of those is to create a space adventure object, and then to start our adventure. Our space adventure class should start to model what a space adventure actually is. So I'm going to go back to our main Swift file, and under my import foundation line, I'm actually going to create an instance of a space adventure object. So I'm going to go ahead and type that now. I'm going to say let adventure equals space adventure, and then parentheses. And again, when you're instantiating an object, you create it as a variable and then create the name of the class with parentheses. But you notice that I'm getting an error. Well, that makes sense because even though I have the class, there's no code in that class to actually define what a space adventure object is. So let's go ahead and implement a basic class. And to do that, we use the word class, and then again, we always start our classes with a capital letter, space adventure, and then curly braces. And there I have a very basic instance of a class. There's nothing there. And if I go back to my main Swift file, the error has disappeared. So again, when I want to instantiate an object, I can usually either make it a constant or a variable and give it a name and then equals the name of the class with parentheses. Well, what if I wanted to start an adventure? Well, probably I'd have a method in my class called start. So in order to call that method, I would type the name of the instance of that object, followed by the method name start and parentheses. But again, notice I have an error because in my Space Adventure class, I hit Command 1 to go to the Navigator. I haven't created any method called start. So that error is going to be there until I fix that. And we're going to go ahead and do that in the next lesson.